everyone, and welcome to tonight's council meeting. Tonight's council meeting looks a little bit different than normal because this is actually a special council meeting as part of the My Ideal City program. It's a program that the City of Kitchener started a number of years ago with grade 5 students in order to help raise awareness about civic government and local government politics. And so tonight we're going to have a special council meeting with a number of our councillors who were selected through a competition that happened earlier this spring. And so now I'd like to turn it over to the mayor for the day, and that is Hidayah Al-Masalima. Mayor Hidayah, over to you.
Welcome everyone in the chambers. Welcome to people watching on Rogers TV. Please stand for O Canada.
Say we have one item before council tonight, and you want to invite Taya Fabik to speak, and she has 1 minute.
We have one.
Delegations have 1 minute to speak.
Delegations have 1 minute to speak.
The first delegation is Taya Fabik.
The first delegation is Taya Fabik.
I believe that the responsibility of clearing our sidewalks should fall upon the City of Kitchener. I'm just a kid, but even I can see how unrealistic the 24-hour time frame can be for homeowners, especially for the elderly. So, if the 24 hours cannot be extended, then unfortunately many residents simply cannot comply due to their age or possible disabilities. Another issue would be that parents with small children and or strollers would be unable to get through the hard snow and ice. Also, with all the hard snowfall here, the homeowners need to buy the right tools to be able to clear the snow off their sidewalks. The cost simply adds up. I believe the city should help cover part of the costs, such as things like snowblower rentals, or provide even some salt bags to the homeowners. In conclusion, I'd like to also mention that the amount of injuries would decrease if the city just stood up like a good neighbor would and offered a helping hand or a shovel.
Thank you very much. Let's see if there's any questions.
Chase. Councillor Chase.
Councillor Chase.
Does the city not own the sidewalks?
Is that a question of us? That would be a question of council. Right? I'll put on the staff hat. Through you, Mr. Mayor, the city does have responsibility for maintaining infrastructure such as roads and sidewalks. We have traditionally looked to homeowners and citizens to support us in clearing sidewalks while we take care of the roads.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you. Any other questions?
Councillor Aiden.
Councillor Aiden.
Oh, no, sorry. It's Councillor Page.
Councillor Page.
In this case, how would the city be able to pay for other needs such as homelessness, or in this case, stands higher or in more need of money?
So one of the things the city would have to pay for is if there's an accident and the injuries that somebody would feel. So wouldn't it be better to pay up front so you don't have to pay for somebody who's injured? The city would have to pay if somebody fell and injured themselves. So isn't it better to pay to clear the sidewalks? Say it first, purpose. The city would have to pay if somebody was injured.
The city would have to pay if somebody was injured.
So isn't it better to pay to clear the sidewalks?
So isn't it better to pay to clear the sidewalks?
Christine. Councillor Jared.
Councillor Jared. Who'd we hire? Who would we hire?
Putting my staff hat on, through you, Mr. Mayor, that would yet to be determined whether or not it would be our staff that would clear the sidewalks, in which case we would have to hire additional staff at an additional cost to the taxpayer, or whether or not we would contract out that service or find another way to clear the sidewalks.
Councillor Maya.
How much would all of this cost? Also, would the homeowners' taxes go up?
Sometimes it's not about cost, it's about doing the right thing.
Sometimes it's not about cost, it's about doing the right thing.
Is that it for the questions? Ask, is there any other questions?
Is there any questions?
Any other questions?
Is there any other questions?
Councillor Chitra. Councillor Chitra.
Councillor Chitra.
How long would it take for all the sidewalks to be cleared?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that's a service level standard that we would have to set based on expectations, engagement with citizens, and the budget to be determined by council at the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it for the questions?
Is that it for the questions?
Councillor Chase.
Councillor Chase.
If the snow is still falling and you're elderly or disabled and you can't do your sidewalk, how are you supposed to finish it anyway?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, could you repeat the question?
If the snow is still falling and you already can't do it, and if you can do it once, how are you supposed to do it again? Because it'll make no impact.
That's a good point, through you, Mr. Mayor. And with climate change, we are seeing that it's not just about snow, it's about ice and rain and the freeze-thaw cycle. So it's a valid point and something staff will have to turn our attention to.
Okay.
Let's move on to the second allegation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I'd like to invite Preston Scott to speak to council.
I'd like to invite Preston Scott to speak to the council.
Welcome, Preston.
Welcome, Preston.
The city shouldn't clear sidewalks for these reasons. First, it will cost more money for the city of Kitchener. They will have to hire more people to clear the snow off the sidewalks. That will cost them money and to get the machines to do the work. Second, the cost of taxes go up because the city has to pay the workers and buy snow clearing machines. Some people don't want to pay more taxes than they already do. That is why we would have to pay more money for the city to clear the sidewalks. Why we should clear our own sidewalks and not the city. It may be hard work, but it is still great exercise, and it gets you off the couch in the winter. That is why we should clear our own sidewalks. That is it, and I hope you agree with me that we should clear our own sidewalks.
Try that again.
Thank you, Preston. Is there any questions for Preston?
Councillor Abbas.
Councillor Abbas.
What would people that cannot clean it themselves due to health issues do?
They could ask their neighbor.
Councillor Chase.
Councillor Chase.
What if you have no neighbors or aren't in contact with them?
That might be a better question for city staff.
Through you, Mayor Hidayah, could you repeat the question?
I forgot what I was going to say.
I think you said, what if you had no neighbor? I think that was the question. Okay. So through you, Mayor Hidayah, if you don't have any neighbors and happen to live on a street, that has a large block, perhaps you could take advantage of the program through the city with the working center where we offer support that way.
Other questions?
Is there any other questions?
Councillor Aiden.
Councillor Aiden.
Valerie. Sorry, Councillor Valerie.
Councillor Valerie.
What if I don't have enough money to pay for a shovel or a snowblower? Will the city help me?
Yes, there's a program that the city has to help to get snowblowers.
Other questions?
Other questions?
Councillor Chase.
Councillor Chase.
Provided that you do clear your driveway, but then it snows again, how is the city supposed to know that you did clear your driveway?
You might have to do it again.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Okay. Councillor Page.
Councillor Page.
When the time is appropriate, I have a motion to put forward.
Okay. If there's no more questions, then we'll go to the motion.
If there's no more questions, then we'll go to
The motion.
the motion.
Is there any more? No? So then you'll just say, thank you, Preston.
Thank you, Preston.
And now, Councillor Page for your motions.
Councillor Page for your motion.
The motion I want to put forward is...
The motion I want to put forward is that the city not clear snow on sidewalks so that money can be used for other city priorities.
Okay. Is there a seconder for that motion? Is there a seconder for that motion?
Is there a seconder for that motion?
Okay, there is. Councillor Maya?
Councillor Maya?
Okay. Does anybody want to make any comments?
Does anyone want to make any comments?
Councillor Abbas?
Councillor Abbas?
Good evening, Mayor, councillors, and everybody else in the room. I would like to present my argument on why I think that the city should not clean everybody's snow, but only specific people. I think the city should only clean snow for people who cannot do it themselves due to health issues and cannot afford to hire a private company to do it for them. To determine who's eligible for this service, homeowners would need to submit an application with their income and health status. Eligible citizens will then receive the city's snow clearing services. As for the 2016 census, there are about 33,000 people over the age of 74 in Kitchener who could potentially qualify for this service. Most of these people already have support to clean the sidewalks, decreasing the amount of people that would need the city's help. The city currently cleans 216 out of 1,200 kilometers of sidewalk in Kitchener. According to a recent article in The Record, if the city were to provide a citywide service, it would cost $4 million in capital costs to buy equipment and $3.6 million a year in operating and maintenance costs. On top of that cost, the city of Kitchener would be held liable for any injuries due to uncleared sidewalks on the sidewalks, including injuries to the homeowners as well. So a homeowner could go in front of their house and slip on the sidewalk in front of their house, and the city would be held liable. On the other hand, if homeowners clean their sidewalks themselves, it would primarily cost the homeowners their time. I believe that $7.6 million could be spent elsewhere for better things such as public transportation. Although not a major disadvantage, the environmental impact of machinery used, such as emissions, add to the greenhouse gases already produced. Homeowners using shovels eliminate this impact. A potential advantage of providing a city-wide service is that more jobs could be created, but they would only be seasonal and part-time. In conclusion, the city would need a fortune and an army of workers to clean everybody's snow. I believe the citizens can be that army for minimal cost to the city. Thank you.
Okay, so say thank you. Now, Councillor Eve.
Thank you. And now, Councillor Eve.
With respect, I disagree. First of all, it could help save groundwater from salts. Instead of making a law to stop using salts, the city could quickly and efficiently make that decision. They could use sand or beet juice instead. It is also much simpler and efficient. Instead of every single person doing their own small sidewalk with cracked plastic shovels, and everyone together taking even thousands of hours, there could be a few workers doing larger spaces with high-quality equipment, only taking a few hundred hours altogether. It would save time, and the overall collective cost would actually be less. Third of all, with the property owners doing it, it can be extremely dangerous. For example, if someone is in a wheelchair, like my sister used to be, they could slip on an unshoveled sidewalk and hurt themselves even more than they already are. This is because it's very unlikely that everyone's sidewalk is always 100% clear. In conclusion, the city should clear sidewalks because it would be more environmentally friendly, more efficient, and safer.
Thank you. Now, Councillor Anne Frederic.
Thank you. Now, Councillor Anne Frederic.
If the city were to clear all sidewalks of snow and ice, the cost could go over $7 million every year. That money could be used for something much better. Also, research shows that in other cities where cities are responsible, the complaints are higher than cities where citizens are responsible for clearing the sidewalks. And results from the inspection pilot have shown that awareness campaigns and a system of notices to delinquent citizens are efficient to make sure people comply with the law. We can still have the job done well, as long as we nudge citizens towards doing it.
Councillor Jared.
Thank you. Now, Councillor Jared.
I respectfully agree that we should pick out certain people, because if they filled out a form, what if somebody just said that they needed it? A lot of people probably would do that, and they would end up getting theirs cleared when they don't need it.
Any other speakers?
Any other speakers?
Councillor Page.
Councillor Page.
Our goal should be to curtail the amount of money being spent. By doing so, we can use it towards homelessness, city utilities, infrastructure, and other higher priorities. One main argument about this topic is, what about elderly citizens or people who just can't manage to shovel their own sidewalks? There are neighbors all around us we can interact with and ask for their help. Also, the city could consider some suitable snow removal businesses to recommend so we meet their needs as part of our obligation. We have a choice on this affair instead of going straight to spending money. Taxes are already high. By raising them, this case, we won't have much money for other needs. This is a great way our city could be a much better place.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Councillor Chase.
Councillor Chase.
I disagree with the motion, but I think that a boss has the right idea. If you were to put an extra thing in the yearly census to see if somebody's elderly, disabled, or can otherwise not physically clear their sidewalk, then you could do it specifically for them. I believe that this would be more efficient.
Anybody else who hasn't spoken yet?
Anybody else who hasn't spoken yet?
Councillor Maya, yep.
Councillor Maya.
I will support the motion. I am for residents doing their own snow removal. The reasons I am for this is because I am for it, but there are elderly people in our communities who can't do it, so maybe the city and the school boards could work together to make and develop a program that will give the high school students volunteer hours by helping the elderly people in their community.
We'll do Councillor Valerie.
Councillor Valerie.
I agree that people should shovel up their own sidewalk, but if they need help, then they should be able to find it easily from anywhere.
Councillor Chitra.
Councillor Chitra.
I also agree. The citizens should shovel their own sidewalks. A main reason being that all of these new machines will come at a cost. All of these new machines will leave a carbon footprint, which will be very bad for the environment. I think if the citizens continue to clear their own sidewalk, the city should promote eco-friendly snowblowers. An eco-friendly snowblower will be better for the environment, as a regular snowblower can make 1 pound of pollution per hour. That is equivalent to driving your car for 112 kilometers. Something we all need to remember is that we're trying to make Kitchener an ideal city, not a luxurious city. Luxurious does not mean ideal.
Okay, so Councillor Ann.
Councillor Ann.
If the city were to keep it I would like to make an amendment. If the city were to keep it as the citizens shoveling their own snow, the city should extend the assisted service for sidewalk and window clearing pilot to all citizens, as well as extending the proactive inspection pilot to encourage the work be done. The cost of this would be way less than the city clearing the snow and ice.
Okay, so what's your amendment?
That we should extend the assisted service for sidewalk and window clearing pilot and the proactive inspection pilot.
So ask, is there a seconder for the amendment?
There's a seconder for the amendment.
Say there doesn't appear, no, there doesn't appear to be a seconder.
There doesn't appear to be a seconder.
Can you please repeat the motion?
You couldn't hear it.
Oh, can you repeat the amendment? Yeah, repeat. Nice and loud.
The city should extend the assisted service for sidewalk and window clearing pilot to all citizens, as well as extending the proactive inspection pilot to encourage the work be done.
I still don't see a seconder, so we'll deal with the original motion. Oh, we do? Where? Oh, okay, so Councilor Valerie seconded it.
Councilor Valerie, seconder.
Okay, so now make your comments. And here's why. The original motion.
I support the original motion, and here's why. I'm for the city of Kitchener snow clearing our sidewalks. Here are some reasons why I'm for it. People in wheelchairs can't shovel their own sidewalks. Also, they can't move around easily if the sidewalks are not shoveled. Parents who are pushing their strollers and have young kids need clear sidewalks to move safely and quickly. Also, older people will be able to live in their homes longer because they won't have to worry about cleaning their own sidewalks or getting a ticket for not shoveling. People living in the city will be slipping and falling less and breaking less bones. This means less people going to the hospital. People who are against snow clearing might say that it is too expensive, but people's safety is more important than money. That is why I'm for the city of Kitchener to clear our sidewalks.
Now we'll go to the vote.
Now we'll go to the vote.
So we'll vote for the amendment first.
We'll vote for the amendment first.
So recorded vote.
Yeah, recorded votes.
Okay. Okay, so a recorded vote has been called.
Recorded votes has been called.
Okay, so.
Can you please repeat the amendment?
Ask Ann to repeat the amendment. Councillor Ann, repeat the amendment again.
Councillor what?
Councillor Ann, repeat the amendment again, please.
Councillor Ann, repeat the amendment, please.
The city should extend the assisted service for sidewalk and window clearing pilot to all citizens, as well as extending the proactive inspection pilot to encourage the work be done.
Okay. So all those in favor, please stand up. No, recorded vote. So all those in favor, please stand up.
All those in favor, please stand up.
And all those, so it's going to be a tied vote. So you have to decide if you want to support the amendment or not. All those opposed to the amendment?
All those opposed to the amendment?
Two opposed. So you say the motion fails.
The motion fails.
So we'll now go to the main motion.
Now we'll go to the main motion.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Oh, sorry. You're sorry. You can tell that I'm on cold meds. So the motion carries. The amendment carries.
The amendment carries.
So now we'll vote on the main motion as amended.
So now we'll vote on the main motion as amended.
All those in favor?
Will you please read it again?
Okay, so ask Councillor Page to read the motion again.
Councillor Page,
My motion is that the city not clear snow and sidewalks so that money can be used for other city priorities.
So you'll want to vote. So all those, recorded vote has been called. So all those in favor of this motion?
recorded vote.
Yeah, recorded.
Recorded vote.
All those in favor, please stand up.
All those in favor, please stand up.
All those opposed. All those opposed.
All those opposed.
And the motion, the motion does not carry. Oh, no, it does again. Sorry, the motion does carry. So the motion carries
The motion carries
as amended.
as amended.
So now, I say that's all that we have for this evening. Yeah.
This is all what we have for this evening.
Does somebody want to move adjournment?
Does somebody want to move adjournment?
Moved by Councillor Abbas.
Councillor Abbas.
Seconder.
The meeting's over.
Good job. Elbow bump. Very good. Well, good job, everybody. It's always a little bit challenging the first time you're around the horseshoe and trying to figure all this out and getting help and figuring out how you feel about certain things. But good job by everybody in terms of the whole process. And now what we're going to do is present certificates to each of you. Okay. Okay, so the first one. So the first one I have is Jared Conkle. Oh yeah, probably. Next person is Abbas Syed. And next up is Eve Scriver. And then we have Chase Moulton. And next up, we have Chitra Shah. Next up is Valerie Gomez. There we go. It's Maya. Maya Melindi. Where's Paige? Next we have Paige Barsness. Next up is Taya Fabik. And this brings our special council meeting of My Ideal City to an end. I want to thank everyone who's been a part of this from the very beginning, but in particular, Helen and Carrie from the Kitchener Citizen who are here. And they've been great partners of ours since we initiated this program a number of years ago. And obviously all of the staff from the City of Kitchener Mayor's Office who help support it. And most importantly, thank you to all the teachers and all of you as parents, grandparents, and supporters who take the time to help the youth with their presentations and also with their original submissions, which help them get selected for this program. Thanks for being here, and have a great evening. And we'll start the regular council meeting in about 5 minutes.